welcome to another episode of the Cozy Cottage Crochet Podcast. My name is Hannah, and this is a podcast all about crochet, a little bit of knitting, sometimes sewing, and generally living the yarniest life possible in St. Petersburg, Florida, where I live. How are you? It has been 2 weeks. I have lots of progress to show you. I have some giveaways, winners to announce. I have some happy mail. I have a bump date. I have so many things. So grab your favorite beverage. My favorite beverage right now is water. So exciting. And get your project and pull up a comfy chair, and we're just gonna dive right in. Now, if you're looking for me anywhere on the interweb, you can find me as the Cozy Cottage Crochet on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. There is a Ravelry group for this podcast linked directly down below. That is where we have make-alongs running. And if you have any questions or concerns or comments or anything related specifically to the podcast, please shoot me an email. My email address is thecozycottagecrochet@gmail.com. Now, let's do prizes first, shall we? Because that's the most exciting part. The third quarter is officially over of the year. It's mid-October, which means I have pulled prizes for all 3 of the make-alongs that are currently being hosted in my Ravelry group. So we have the Mission Impossible Mal, which is to make a project that really challenges you. It can be anything. We have the Year of Classics 2020, which is to make things that will actually fit in your wardrobe. And we have the Wizarding Mal 2020, which is to make socks and project bags. I'm co-hosting that with Claudia of the Crochet Luna podcast. She has the chatter thread. I have the finished objects thread. So I have drawn third quarter prizes for all 3 of those make-alongs, and we're going to announce the winners right now. Let me get my paper. For the Mission Impossible Mal, I have pulled the winners always using a random number generator. Post number 258, which is Nikki 52879. She knit a massive Stephen West shawl. So yes, definitely a Mission Impossible project. Congratulations, Nikki. And post number 226, Mrs. Johnson, who is Veronica, she completed or was working on her first ever Tunisian project. So exciting. For the Year of Classics, I have also 2 winners. Post number 203, who is Crafty Judy 1204. That is Judy, who completed her Ariana cardigan, which is a pattern that I have made, and it is one of my most worn items of all time. Although I haven't been wearing it lately because I'm boiling hot all the time because I'm pregnant. But I will for sure be wearing that a lot again. So very excited for you. And post number 227, Crochet RN 15, who is Melanie. She completed a crochet t-shirt that will fit in her wardrobe. Congratulations. And then finally, for the Wizarding Mal, I have also pulled 2 prizes. Post number 60, who is Sandra ADJE. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. She made Tunisian crochet socks, which honestly blows my mind. They look incredible. And I think you live in the Netherlands. Is that right? Very cool. And post number 76, who is Tamara Melton 2011, who did a pair of Hufflepuff socks. So that is all 6 winners that I have pulled, and I'm going to show you the prizes. I cannot guarantee which prize you're going to get. If you are one of the winners, it's probably going to be based on weight and how far away you are. Like, for example, the lightest prize will most certainly go to the Netherlands because shipping is expensive. So in no particular order, these are the prizes. I have an entire bag full of this cotton yarn, and it's a really interesting stitch definition. So it's plantation Unger yarn. It looks to me to be about a worsted weight, and it is 100% mercerized cotton. You get 102 yards for 50 grams, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 purples, 3 white, 4 white, 1 light pink, and 1 salmon. So you're going to get a ton of mercerized cotton yarn. So how many grams is that? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 plus a bit, 600-ish grams. So you could definitely get a garment out of that if you like making crochet garments. And this is also going to be going in there. It is shepherd sock, 80% superwash wool, 20% nylon, 215 yards in a pink, because I thought it matched the bag that it's coming in. So that is prize number 1. Prize number 2, sorry for the rustling, is a collection of yarns that I think will make wonderful hats or cowls or mittens, things that you can work up quickly and give away. So there is a Snuggly Wuggly in blue, Karen Simply Soft in white, Snuggly Wuggly in a variegated. There is Wool-Ease Tonal in this amazing purple that I love. There is Red Heart with Love in this delightful colorway. That's literally the colorway name, is delightful. There is Lion Brand Wool Spun in the colorway Evergreen. I love this yarn, it's so plump. And then finally a Wool Spun in gray. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balls of yarn. Could possibly be 6 if I can only fit 6 in the box. But that is prize number 2. Prize number 3, this mini, 2, 4, 6, 8, so 400 grams of this ice yarn, which is 25% mohair, 15% wool, 60% acrylic in the colorway dark gray. You get 180 meters for 50 grams. And I would say it's probably a sport weight or a DK weight maybe. Although 180 meters, yeah, I think that's probably a sport weight. So depending on what you're doing, knitting, crocheting, what kind of thing you're making, you could probably get a garment out of this as well. So that is prize number 3. Prize number 4, 500 grams of this Kartopu. It is 100% acrylic. The color is H2301, so, you know, very original. But I really, really like it. It's like super tonal. So this is definitely a sweater's quantity as well. I believe that is kind of like a light worsted weight yarn. Then I have a bag of Rowan Summer Tweed. So there is for 250 grams of this Rowan Summer Tweed, which is 70% silk and 30% cotton. And I love the color. That color is so gorgeous. So I'm gonna guess that it's probably this one that's gonna go to the Netherlands, because this one weighs the least out of all the prizes. And then finally, I have 4 balls of Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable. This yarn is very difficult to frog, but if you persevere and make a project with this, it is so gorgeous. So there are 200 grams in the colorway Polo, which is this beautiful autumnal, iridescent, I love it. And 200 grams in the colorway Stained Glass, which is just as gorgeous. So this is like a worsted weight single ply. I have made stuff out of this yarn before, or very similar yarn, and it always looks so gorgeous. You just have to be careful not to frog it, because it's kind of a lot. So congratulations to everyone. I have already sent you, if you are a winner, I've already sent you a message on Ravelry. Please respond to me with your full name and mailing address, and I will get these in the mail sometime, probably in the next 2 weeks, because everything feels hard right now. I will probably wait until I get at least most of everyone to respond to me before I make a trip to the post office. So I'll have everything packaged up and be able to send it all at once. But very, very excited about that. So excited to have the third quarter prizes to give out. I was going to say prizes hosted. Well, it's going to be one of those podcasts now, isn't it? Where I cannot talk and stumble over my words. And do you know why that is? Because I am so tired. I'm officially in the 3rd trimester and this pregnancy is kicking my butt. It has been since the beginning. And this has been an insane week at work. Like it's Wednesday, but I feel like it should be Thursday. That's how much work I've done. Oh, so I'm a little out of it, almost. I'm almost out of it. Like as soon as this podcast recording is done, I'm gonna be like on the couch, asleep, I guarantee you. So fun pattern to highlight. What am I wearing? I may not keep this on the whole time. I had to turn the air conditioner down because I was just so hot. I'm hot all the time now. But this is a crochet pattern that I designed, and I think it's perfect for October, so I wanted to highlight it in this week's podcast. This is the Falling Ivy Shawl, which I made 2 versions of, a green and orange and an orange and green. I figured because I was wearing green that this orange one matched. So it is a shawl worked top down, but it's more like a scarf. So it's actually a crescent shaped scarf. This is the shape of it. And you increase out. So it's basically like a half circle shawl with part of the circle cut out. So it's the size of a scarf. But what it gets is when you put it on, because it is rounded, it will just stay. You're not gonna have to fidget with it or mess with it or do anything like that. It just stays, it stays put. It stays put inside a coat, it stays put without a coat, it doesn't matter. And then you work it top down. Then you have these color stripes, and then you work these leaves at the bottom. There's 2 rows of leaves for the border. And there's a photo tutorial in the pattern on how to do that. And I really love the leaves in green. I love them. So this is the Falling Ivy Shawl. You can find it along with all of my crochet patterns that I've released. And I definitely can say all of them because there's quite a few now, linked directly down below. I'm just gonna put that there. Now, I have been working on some stuff. Now, admittedly, there was some stuff that was close to being finished. So I do have 3 finished objects. I know that that seems crazy, and it seems crazy to me too, and I'm going to show them to you one by one. So I have 3 finished objects and some whips to show you. The first finished object is one that I was almost done with last time. It is done now. It is a blanket. I made it out of Bernat blanket yarn in the colorway light teal, and I did not bring the other ball band. I'm pretty sure the other colorway is just gray. I used 2 balls of the teal and 1 ball of the gray. This is how much of the teal I had left. Not very much. This is how much of the gray. That's a lot of air, but definitely more than the teal. And this is a finished blanket. So this is a corner to corner project. It looks gigantic on camera. So I started at this corner. I worked an entire ball of this teal color. Then I started striping. So I did 2 rows in gray, 2 rows in teal, 3 rows in gray, 2 rows in teal, 4 rows in gray, 2 rows in teal, and then I think 5 or 6 rows to finish it off. Then I worked a border of single crochet all the way around, and then I did 1 row of half double crochet in teal, 1 in gray, and 1 in teal again. And it is perfect. I love it. It's so fluffy, so squishy. This is how I make all baby blankets. Usually I always make them corner to corner, and I love to make them in Bernat blanket yarn, especially, not only because they work up a little bit quicker, but also this is really thick and plush. So you can use this as a floor mat for a baby. You can put them down. It's going to be soft enough to just lay them on the floor. And also it has holes. So if for some reason the baby's face gets mushed up into it, it will still be able to breathe. And this is getting gifted on Saturday. So I'm very happy. The person who this is getting gifted to, his baby shower is on Saturday, the same day that this episode will go live. So I'm not worried about showing this or talking about it because there's no way she's gonna watch the episode before her baby shower. So very excited to have this done. This squishy, plushy, delightful baby blanket. And I don't know where to put this because it's huge. Put it over there in the stack. So that is finished object number 1. I have to get a photo of it, and then I need to wrap it because the baby shower is very soon. Finished object number 2. I have to take this off so I can show you. So we're just gonna do this. Now there's 2. Finished object number 2 I was working on last time. It was living in this bag. And this bag is actually where I got the name for the pattern. So this is a bag that Elizabeth from Crochet Cakes and Caroline from Mind and Muse made for me jointly a long time ago, and it says made with love, and it's got bunnies and dogs, and on the front of it I have some crochet Luna pins, which this is her vintage logo now. She has a fancy new logo, and this is her first pin ever that says Yarn Loving Crochet Sisters, her enamel pin. What is living, or was living, in here is a cowl design that I am doing as a collaboration with Claudia, who is Crochet Luna and who you should be following for sure. She is releasing her own yarn line of Z-twist yarns. So Z-twist, most yarns are twisted in the S direction, which is perfect for knitting, but can be difficult for crochet because it will unravel and sometimes your yarn snags and the plies come undone, etc. This is what the Z-twist yarn looks like. This is a colorway that I got to pick and that I'm getting to name. So the name of this colorway is Nova, which of course is the name of my baby that will be arriving sometime soon. And it's kind of a worsted weight, non-superwash yarn. This is her new logo for Luna Yarns. How cute. So it is a 50-50 alpaca merino blend. So this yarn that I'm using is a 50-50 alpaca merino. She also has an 80-20 alpaca merino and 100% merino. And there's also blue and mustard color. So crazy. And purple. And she will be releasing the yarn, I believe it will be up before this video goes up. But if there's any left, if you want to have any hope of getting this yarn, you need to click on the link to her Etsy shop down below, because there was limited quantities of the yarn, and I believe she will be getting more, but you have to follow her on social media to know when the updates are coming and when this Z-twist yarn will be available. So she sent me some skeins to do a design for her, and she also sent Claire Elizabeth of Crochet Cakes and Kalisha of the Quirky Monday Craft Cast some skeins to do designs for her. And I'm so thrilled to say that this design is done. It's Wednesday right now. My tech editor just got the pattern back to me today. So delighted. So I have a couple of edits to make. I have some testers working through it right now, and this pattern will be released at the same time that this podcast episode goes live. However, you will not be able to get it off of Ravelry. The only way you will be able to get this pattern, because it is a collaboration, is through Claudia. She's going to be making kits, which I feel so official right now. I have only been self-publishing patterns so far on Ravelry, and this is like an official, like I'm making a pattern for a kit. I feel very official. So I know that was a lot of talking. Let me just show you what I've made, okay? This is the Made with Love cowl. You can see that it's got a border, and then we have these textured stitches that go all the way up, and then it ends with another solid border. It is made flat and then seamed. I could probably get that seam to lie down a little flatter if I blocked this, but I had blocked it before I seamed it. So you can see that they match up. All of these texture lines match up. That's why seaming is so great sometimes. And I know some people hate seaming. I don't actually mind seaming as long as it has a purpose. And I did try to work this in the round, in turned rounds. I tried to work it in spiral rounds. Just did not come out the way that I wanted it to. So I adjusted the pattern to make it seamed, and I'm so, so happy with it. So this is what it looks like. It is just like, so the dimensions are like 22 inches around total and maybe 12 inches tall. You can make this in any size you want simply by adjusting your foundation row. I have modification instructions in the pattern. I love it. I've already taken photos of this. I feel like it's just the perfect color. Like, it even matches my olive green that I'm wearing today. I just really, really, really like it, and I really enjoyed making it. It's very quick to make. I made the whole thing, like the pattern, writing, photos, this, blocking, seaming, everything in like 2 weeks. But some of my testers have made this in like 3 days, 2 to 3 days. One tester I think made it in 3 days, and she even used a sport weight yarn to do it. So this is a worsted weight yarn. She used a sport weight yarn, which means she had more stitches. Still got it done in 3 days because it's a very quick make. So, ooh, look at that hair. very, very thrilled about the Made with Love cowl. I think it will be a wonderful pattern to make for yourself or to gift. If you know a yarny friend who could use a pick-me-up and you have the resources, I think buying a kit would be fantastic, and you'll get a little bit of yarn left over as well. This is about 1.5, 1 3/4 skeins instead of 2 full skeins, so you'll have a little bit of yarn left over to play with, unless of course you extend the sizing or the width of this or the depth. You can make it taller. So one last close-up of the texture because I love it so much. I'm so excited about this finished object. I feel very, very fancy and official. Thank you, Claudia, for trusting me with your yarn. I'm so excited to have a pattern. And like I said, if you want to check out her yarn, her Z-Twist yarn specifically for crocheters, you need to follow her Etsy store, which is directly down below, and her on social media. But wait, there's more. I have one more finished object, and it is finished as far as the object is concerned. It is not finished as far as the pattern is concerned, but it's pretty darn close. It's living in this crochet bag, which was a gift from Amanda, who is a lovely friend and viewer of this podcast. This is my Yarn on the Prairie Cowl in the colorways Voltage is the green and Electric Blue. This is how much I have left. These skeins, they say they were 100 grams, but they're actually a little heavy, so I used the amount of yarn that I wanted to. I will have a link to her shop directly down below as well. And this is my neon cowl that is finally done. Oh, man, I love it so much. I need more neons in my life. I've decided I need everything neon in my life. So the way, this is a tube. So as you can see, there's no you don't work flat, you actually work this in rounds, in spirals. I chose to do a 2-color spiral on this, just carrying the yarn up the inside. The color modifications for this are endless. You could do this in 1 color, you could do this in a variegated color, you could do this in minis and block it. You could do 3 colors or 4 colors and simply carry the yarn up the inside, because, I'll turn it inside out so you can see. This is what the color looks like. This is the jog, but this is the inside of the cowl. And then this cowl gets seamed together and you can't see the inside. Like, as you can see, this is a tube. So all of your floats on the inside or any ends or anything are gonna be staying inside the cowl. And when you seam it, I'm not giving away any secret sauce here, but I used specifically the mattress stitch. It's almost invisible. You can tell where I did it simply because the yarn that I seamed it with is slightly a different color. It was a lighter version or a lighter part of the ball than it was when I started. But I mean, this from far away, it just looks like an ever so slightly bigger stripe. It's almost invisible. And if I had seamed that in blue instead of green, like if this were a blue stripe that I was seaming, I don't think you'd be able to tell at all. Mattress stitch is magical, y'all. So that's what it looks like. It's made to be kind of a close fitting double layer cowl to actually keep you warm in the cold in fingering weight, which fingering weight sometimes doesn't keep you warm in the cold. That's why it's double layered in a tube. It is very textured, which I will show you after I take it off. I know this one does not match my olive green very well, but I love it because it's neon. This is going to be called the Spiral Up Cowl because you are working in a spiral the entire time. And there's a whole story behind that I will tell you when the pattern is ready for release. It will probably be at least another month, month and a half. The pattern itself is written, but I do have to take photos and input those before I can get this out to testers, and that will be I'll probably give them a month because this uses 2 full skeins of fingering weight yarn. So some people are very speedy, but I like to give people a little longer. And then of course tech editing. So my goal is to have this pattern released before the baby is born. We will see if that happens. So yeah, I'm so crazy hair again. Thrilled with this. This is the texture. Love the texture. I just keep touching it. I'm so thankful to Yarn on the Prairie they provided yarn support for this pattern, and then were so patient to wait because I ripped my first designs out several times. This is exactly the size I wanted it to be. It's exactly the stripe pattern I wanted it to be. And I have included modification options in the pattern, not just for color, but also for size. So if you did not want such a thick cowl, you wanted it to be like this wide, there's modification instructions. If you have tons of fingering weight yarn and you don't want it to be just a one loop cowl, there's instructions on how to work it longer so you can double loop it. So, oh man, I'm really, really, really happy with this. My goal was to get like 6 inches on this done from the last podcast, and I ended up doing all of it and finishing it. It was probably like all of this that got done. So we'll put this over here. I can't wait till it gets a little bit colder so I can actually wear it. And that is all my finished objects. I think I'm going to not put anything else around my neck because I'm very hot. I know some of you are having very cold snaps where you are. Yeah, it's still like 80, 90 degrees here. We had like 1 week of nice weather. Not anymore, folks. Not anymore. It's probably going to be hot. Like, it doesn't really start to cool down at all until November, and then it only cools off a little bit. We usually get some cooler weather in December, but then for Christmas, it's actually hot. Go figure. I don't know why. So I do have some works in progress. I have 2 knitting and 2 crochet. So I'm going to start with the knitting because that's what's closest. The first is the Baby Gramps cardigan, which is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. I am making it to match the Gramps cardigan that I made my husband last year. So last time you saw this, only one of these sleeves was done. So I have since finished the second sleeve, and my goal actually was to finish the second sleeve and then pick up the stitches around the collar. You will see that I have picked up half the stitches, and then I got to the top of the collar and stopped. That's because I picked them up incorrectly up here, and I didn't have, I need to have brain space to take this part out because there's more stitches that I picked up over here than over here to get to the number that I need to. So I need to split that difference and spread them out a little bit more. It's not really going to take that long, honestly. It's only like this many. It's like 50 stitches or something. So I have to do that and then pick up the rest all the way down this side, and then I can start doing the collar. One of the reasons I have not yet sat down to pick them up is because I know once I start doing the collar, I need some brain space as well because there's wrap and turns and there's like a shawl collar, and I just have not had any brain space. But it does have another sleeve, so very excited about that. Very, very cute. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to pick up those stitches and start the collar. I really would like to have the collar finished in the next 2 weeks, honestly. Is it possible? It's certainly possible, as long as I have some brain power. So that's a work in progress number 1. The pink little kimono style cardigan that I showed last time that I need to frog part of, I have not frogged either. I just have not been in the mood to rip things out. So I put that aside and I haven't worked on it at all, but I will. I mean, I could literally sit down and do it in one evening. So I really need to just do it because it's like rip out 3 rows and then redo the sleeve. It'll be fine. But I just haven't had the brain power to do that either. I haven't been able to face ripping things out. Not even pulling a needle out and repicking up 50 stitches. So I've been focusing on some other projects. The next project, also knitting, is my Skyrim Cardigan, which is the long line cardigan. It is a pattern by Hoagie Locatelli. This is my Mission Impossible Now project. It most certainly will not be done this year. So the Mission Impossible Mal may continue into 2021. But my goal is to get this very strange construction. I want to get to under the arms and joined before the baby comes. So on that front, I have progress. As long as I can do it without pulling everything out. Okay, so it is attached over here. This is what we've got. I know this does not look like a sweater. This is the left front. So this is what I had finished last time. And then in the last 2 weeks, I have finished the back panel to below the underarms. And you can see, even though this is stockinette and it's curling, that it's growing. So this is straight stockinette to here, and now there's some stitches that have been added. This is where I was last time, where this little sweater guy is. So I've knit all of this. And then my goal was to get just this back panel done, but I actually got 10 rows into the right front panel. So this is where I left off, and I've done 10 rows on this panel as well. It's going to end up, this is so ridiculous. You can't even really tell because this is on a cord that's like looped, but it's gonna end up like this. Yeah. Where is my shoulder seam? It's gonna end up like this. And this is gonna come down. This is gonna come down a little more. And then the back is definitely long enough because I can tell it goes down under my arm. And so once this is done, this comes down, you cast on even some more stitches and you start knitting from here, you go all the way around and pick up all these stitches. So then all 3 of these pieces will be one thing. I was concerned at the beginning that it was gonna be too small. I'm still like ever so slightly concerned, but this is a superwash fingering weight yarn, so I know that it's going to grow. After I've joined under the arms and done maybe 2-3 rows, I will try it on. If it fits even like perfectly, it will be fine because I know it will stretch out a bit because it's superwash. And also, this may be TMI, but as I am currently in my 3rd trimester, these are larger than they were previously to getting pregnant, like much larger. So I am not concerned if it's a little tight this way, and like, because it's supposed to hang open. Eventually these will go back down to their normal size. And then as long as it fits in the underarms, I'll be fine. So this is a very strange construction, I know, but it's kind of like this. This is gonna join here, and this is gonna join here. So what I am doing is, this is all Skyrim yarn, and so far I am so impressed with my fade, you guys. So impressed. So I started with this yarn, which is Solitude. I am 99% sure. Solitude. This is how much I have left of the Solitude, and I have 9 more rows in this color and then 12 rows where I fade it. So that's still going to be plenty to do the sleeves, because I'm trying to make sure I leave enough to do sleeves in fade. So I'm gonna do 9 more rows in this, 12 fade rows, which will be 6 rows. From this color to this color, which is Dawn Star. Then I will work 25 rows in this color and work another 12 fade rows to get to the 3rd color, which is Winterhold, pretty sure, or Windhelm, Winterhold. So Solitude, Dawn Star, Winterhold. These are the first 3 colors that I am fading. It's gonna be the same on the sleeves. I don't know that I'm gonna have, I would really love to have it joined under the arms and the sleeve cap shaping done on both sleeves before the baby comes, but I do not think that is possible. I really don't think that's possible. So my goal is just to get joined under the arms so that I can just knit stockinette after the baby is born if I have any brain power. There is no way I could do this math and keep up with this stuff. I'm already having trouble. And luckily, I'm gonna hold this way back here so you don't see the pattern, but just at the bottom, you see all my notes of scribbles because I wanna make sure I do the exact same thing I did on the first panel, on the back panel, and on the side panel. And so these are the first 3 fade colors. I am very, very happy, and I will show you, so the fades get darker as I go down. So the next color will be Morthal. Oh man, which is crazy far away from this color, but not very far away from this color. So the fade is working out really, really well. And this, I think the back is the best way to show it. It just blends like seamlessly. Man, it's so good. All of this yarn came from Leah of Sheep Happens Yarn, who is a lovely person and a fantastic dyer of yarn, but also mind-blowing to me because she sent me, this is actually her yarn too. Right here. She sent this to me as pattern support a long time ago, so I designed that pattern in her yarn, and then she sent me this Skyrim fade kit that she had dyed herself as a birthday present last year. So, a year and a half ago. I can't stop showing this to you even though it looks weird because I'm so stinking proud of it. So, I'm gonna put this away. My goal for the next 2 weeks is to have that right front panel done. I think it's possible. Anything's possible, right? So, man, that's the Skyrim Cardi. Progress is being made. And I need some water. But that's not all. There's 2 more works in progress. Can you believe it? I have a work in progress to show you that you have not seen in months. And I mean months. It's living in this, which was a lovely bag. It's actually one of my favorite project bags that I own. It's like the perfect size and it's super sturdy. It was made for me by Tree Frog Yarn a long time ago. And I have, of course, a Crochet Luna pin on here that says crochet is happiness. And then I have this yarn ball hair hat lady. So what is living in here is a Tunisian crochet project. I don't know why I have been so anti-Tunisian crochet. Recently, I really have not done any since the pandemic started. I don't know why. I just have had zero desire to do any Tunisian crochet. But I picked it up after finishing this because I was like, oh, I need something small. All my projects seem to be big right now. I need something small that I can take to work with me and work on my lunch break. So this is this amazing yarn. I love this yarn so much. And I'm going to find the ball band. So this is Attic Spin Dye in the colorway Vibrant Iris. It is 25% nylon, 75% superwash merino. You get 425 meters. This is my favorite colorway that they do. I love, love, love this colorway. And Andy and Angela, who are the owners of Attic Spin Dye, it's a UK-based hand-dyed yarn company, sent me this for quite some time ago, basically to do whatever I want with. I'm designing a pattern with it. It's just taken me a long time. And I just, the colors are so magical. Every time I pull it out, I'm like, they're so beautiful. So I'm on my second skein. I have 2 of these. And I want to talk a minute about my Tunisian crochet hooks because I know you guys are pretty interested in stuff like that. I have a set of Denise interchangeable Tunisian crochet. This is their to-go set, and I have a regular set in plastic as well. So this is what the to-go set comes like. These are plastic. They're made in the USA. I typically do not like plastic hooks. I love these Denise interchangeable Tunisian hooks. I love them, love them, love them. As you can see, I'm using this one because it's missing one space. So this set goes from, I cannot read that, 3.75 millimeters all the way up to this big old one that's 15 millimeters. So I just have this whole set in my project bag because it's so small. It fits perfectly, and it comes with cables that lock. So this is the one that I'm using. I love, it comes with long cables too, and I have some long Denise interchangeable cables, but I love that there's itty bitty cables because I only need an itty bitty cable for this project. So what I'm using is a 4 millimeter. Love it. Do you want to see how much progress I've made? Some of you may not have even seen this project because that's how long it's been. This is where I was last time. The stitch marker, I have done all of this. That is, what, like 10 inches? So, and you can even kind of see right here, the color changes a little bit. This is where I switched to the second skein of yarn, which of course, this part matches the first skein of yarn pretty closely, and then it gets really vibrant in the middle. So I'm expecting that from the second skein as well, that it's a little lighter on the outside and a little darker in the middle as far as colors. And I really like that. I think it looks like it fades. This is a Tunisian project I love the texture. I love the colors. I love everything about it. I am actually at about 45 inches right now. And I think I'm just gonna do a few more. So this is going to be, oh, I can't do it. This is going to be a cowl pattern that's going to loop twice. Yeah, I need to do probably 5 more inches. And then the ending. And it's going to button. And I'm then going to work up probably in worsted weight as well, because this is the wrong side, which looks like garter stitch. So you could button this regularly and then just loop it like you would a traditional, it's a little too small, I need to work some more inches, a traditional double loop cowl where you have the inside and the outside showing. But if you don't want to do that, if you want this to be shown all the way around, which is the right side, essentially what the buttons will allow you to do is this. So once you button it, you simply slide it over your head like this, and only the right side will show. I'm a genius, I know. I do need at least 5 more inches on this. So, but look at all the inches that I've done. This has been so delightful to take with me to work, and I've just been working on this at work over the last 2 weeks. Gotten quite a bit done, and I'm getting pretty close to the finish line. I'm gonna have to actually take a trip to Joann's and see what buttons match with that, because I just love it. And I'm gonna have to think of a name for the pattern, and I'm gonna have to write up the pattern. There's so much to be done still, but I'm really happy to have some progress on it. And I don't know why I was so anti-Tunisian crochet at the beginning of the pandemic. I honestly don't, but I was, so now I'm not anymore apparently. Oh, I have one more work in progress. I know this is a lot of yarn content today, a lot. And it is a blanket design that I'm working on. It is in Bernat Velvet. This is the second skein. This is what I have left, so I'm not gonna mess with it too much. This is the colorway Softened Blue, although it just looks gray to me. So it'll take 3 balls of yarn to finish this. This is the project I've been working on more than anything, honestly, because it's so easy to just zone out and do it. And my brain power has been pretty limited, and I have been pretty exhausted. So, oh man, I am 2/3 of the way done. This stitch marker, that's where I was last time. Poke my finger through. So I have done all of this. I think I need to do like 30 more rows. So I'm gonna fold it in half so I can get my face and the blanket on the screen. I always want to show you. This is my little head wig. My little head wig progress keeper that I got as a keychain at the Platform 9 3/4 store in London when my husband and I were there in 2018. I made it into a stitch marker. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I love a little head wig. So this is half the blanket. So it's this amazing texture. I have wanted to make something with this Bernat Velvet yarn since it came out. And so when it came out, I bought 2 balls in this color and 2 balls in a dark blue. I went to Joann's the other day and bought 1 more ball in this color because I need it. I could have gotten a baby blanket out of 2 balls of yarn if I did like a stroller size or a preemie size, but I wanted it to be like a good size baby blanket because I want to be able to use it a lot. So I needed 1 more ball of yarn, but I'm like 25, 30 rows from being done with this. I can't stop touching it. It's so drapey, so soft. And again, something that I'm trying to plan in, because I know this will be a baby blanket, is you see all these holes? If a baby smushes their face, hopefully they'll still be able to breathe because there are holes in this fabric, even though it's quite heavy, quite drapey, and quite warm. I originally was going to put up like a plain border on it, but I honestly don't even think it needs one. Do you think this needs a border? I feel like it's fine just the way it is. When I'm done, I may work like a little section and see if I like it better with a border or not, but I feel like it's fine just the way it is. And this is what's been getting all the love. So this is the Cozy Up blanket and pattern coming at some point. The only thing I will say that has annoyed me And I will see if it happens in the third ball of yarn. See these ends? So this is the first ball of yarn. This is where I added the second. So all of this is the first ball of yarn. This is where I added the second ball of yarn. There were 2 knots in the first ball. So I added the second ball here, knot. And I'm not through with it yet. And I know in commercial yarn, knots are a thing, but it just bothers me. Like, come on, quit it with the knots. So that's I can't stop. I'm just gonna, so that when this pattern gets released, there's going to be, I've already like practically graded it in my workbook, but it will be from a preemie size blanket all the way to a king size blanket. That is crazy. So crazy. And that's all the projects that I have been working on. I say that's all, like I didn't get so much done. I have some happy mail to share with you that is kind of yarn related. So let's do that and then we will get on to the bump date. The first thing I want to show you is a pattern that was gifted to me by a lovely person named, I'm not sure if his name is Steven or Stefan. It's spelled S-T-E-P-H-A-N, which makes me think it's Stefan. But if your name is Steven, not Stefan, I'm very sorry. But he sent me a copy of his pattern that he just released called the Cornucopia Shawl by the Woolen Hookery. That's his brand. And I don't have a color printer or any printer. I just got this printed somewhere. So you can kind of see this like really beautiful texture. I really think it's gorgeous. And it is called, what kind of yarn does it call for? It calls for fingering weight. So I just thought it was really beautiful. And of course you're missing out on some of the great details because I don't have a color printer. But thank you for sending me that pattern and I'm happy to share it with all of you. Look for the Cornucopia Shawl on Ravelry if that's accessible to you, because that is where his pattern is. And I think it's great for a first pattern. It's gorgeous, it's light, it's huge. Love the texture. The next thing I want to show you is, this was sent to me for review and it's taken me a little while to get around to reviewing it because I wanted it for something that it doesn't do. So I'm gonna just show it to you and then I'll explain. So the makers of this is a Kranova camera lens kit. It is a camera lens kit for your cell phone, which I record on my iPhone. That is where I record all my podcasts. That's where I take all my pattern photos, everything. So they reached out and asked if I'd be interested in reviewing their lens kit. And I was like, sure. Generally, I would say no to something like that, but I was like, well, I record on my phone, so this could totally work for me and totally make my life better. So they sent me this kit. I'm going to try to show it to you without spilling everything. So what it comes with is, this is a clip to attach the lenses to your phone. There are 4 lenses. There's 3 up here and 1 down here, and then there's like a little stand. This is like a heavy duty magnifying lens. It does not work inside, but I did try it across, like looking at my neighbor's house across the street, and I could like see detail on their front door. That is how well this magnifies. So very impressed with that, although it's not really gonna help me for podcasting. There is also a super wide lens, so that will like expand your view. There is a macro lens and a fishbowl lens. So this is like for close-ups, and this is like if I wanted to look like it was in a fishbowl. I'm very impressed with the photo quality. So like it really does change your photos. And if I were to be trying to look at something very far away, it would be really impressive. I do not think that this is going to help me podcast because I am this far away from the camera. I'm like an arm's length away from the camera, so none of these lenses are going to make any difference as far as how I look talking to you. It may help me on taking pattern photos for sure, especially close-ups. So I'm gonna experiment more with that. But if you really like photography, this is not a very expensive kit at all. You can get it on Amazon. It's called the Kranova Lens Kit for smartphone. It works on iPhones and Android. I couldn't think of the other kind of phone. So I do recommend this. I was really impressed with the quality of the images once these lenses were attached. So I do recommend it. If you're looking to use it for video, I don't think it will help you. So that's my only caveat, is I'm not going to be using those lenses for podcasting, which is why I originally said yes to reviewing that. But I think I will be using it for other stuff. So I was really happy to think about it and review it, and maybe you will find that useful as well. And if you want to just take that with you instead of a giant camera. Then I got a package in the mail. This is from a lovely person named Lydia who lives in the UK, and she sent me a beautiful card. I had no idea this was coming. It's a complete surprise. She sent me a bunch of UK snacks. So it has been very difficult for me not to get into these in the week that I've had this package, but I wanted to show them all to you in case you're not from the UK. So first, we have bacon rashers, which are like crispy bacon flavored corn snacks. Very funny. This is the one I'm most excited to try. Shrimps and bananas. What is that? I have never heard of these. There is these little guys called refreshers. I think these are probably like lifesavers that we have in the US. There's some cold brew tea, which y'all know I love cold brew tea. This is blackcurrant and apple, mango and orange, and strawberry lemonade. There's this little candy that says Wham! And there is another little candy that says Blackjack. There is casserole seasoning, which does smell very good. It smells really good. There's a sausage one, a beef one, and a chicken one. So pretty excited to try these actually. Then there was some shortbread, which that has been the hardest thing for me not to get into, honestly. I love shortbread so much. She sent me a Hufflepuff patch. I'm a Hufflepuff, in case you didn't know. Some yarn, some sock yarn. This is a Nora George yarn in the colorway Jerusalem. And then we're gonna go straight into the bump date because this is a baby item. She knitted a little baby sweater. This is so stinking cute, you guys. So cute. And of course it's Hufflepuff colorways. And I made Hufflepuff socks for the baby, so this is like the perfect size. I think that the baby will be wearing this like immediately, like for Christmas. It's so cute, Lydia. I love the little cuff sleeves. I just really, really like it. I really, really like it. So thank you for that completely unexpected surprise. The baby will enjoy it, I'm quite sure. Also, a couple of baby things have come in the mail. These came from Kim, and I'm gonna say just your first name and say thank you. There's a baby rattle, which is wrapped up so it doesn't rattle at the moment, but it will, I'm sure. There is some snack cups. These are super useful. And then some key teethers, which babies will gnaw on, because when they're teething, it's like a whole thing. Oh, I can't bend over. And then, so thank you so much, Kim. And then also what showed up randomly in the mail, I had no idea this was coming either, is from, let's see if I can open this. This is from Maria, who has been a longtime viewer of this podcast. Thank you so much, Maria. And it is a humidifier. Look at the snot coming out of the baby's nose. Why do you need a humidifier? Because babies' noses are so small. This is the discussion we had last time about how we had to suck the snot out of the baby's noses because they don't know how to blow their nose and they can't breathe. And you need a humidifier so that that stuff actually breaks up and comes out if they're sick. This also is a nightlight. And if I want to, it's an essential oil diffuser. And I actually love diffusing essential oils. I haven't very much the whole time I've been pregnant, just because everything in my body is super sensitive, like my nose, my throat, my skin, everything. So I have not done a lot of that, but I used to put in, I think Plant Therapy is the company we have in the US that does essential oils, and they have a blend called Sleep. and I would put like 3 drops of that and diffuse it. Like when my husband and I go to sleep at night, it makes our room smell like a spa, first of all. And it really did, like, kind of just like relaxes you like lavender. So thank you so much. One last picture of this baby and his snot. Thank you very much. And I'm going to move all of this so that you can see. You may notice something different here. These are the new cushions. They came for the rocking chair. Oh, special thanks to everyone who has made me able to get new cushions for this rocking chair. This rocking chair belonged to my father-in-law, and he gave it to us when he got a new one. And so I ordered some new cushions for it because the other ones were quite old. So they're gray and they match the nursery. There's a back cushion, a bottom cushion, and then this on Velcro. So I'm going to show you. I ordered something that the original chair didn't have, which is a arm cushion for both arms. It Velcros and it has a pocket on the outside. Oh, pocket for crochet. Pocket for crochet and yarn. So Velcro that back down. Those came in the mail. I was so happy with them. So happy. And it just feels delightful. Like I can't wait to rock the baby. So special thanks to Carla who made this possible, and to everyone who has bought any one of my patterns or supported me on Patreon. You made these new cushions for this rocking chair, gave it a new lease on life, and it's going to be used probably a billion times to just rock the baby to sleep. Rock the baby. And then there'll be some knitting over here. And once I can figure out how to nurse and knit or crochet, it'll be the best thing ever. Also, a very special thank you to Kelly, who sent a Target gift card, which I have not spent. I'm trying to decide. I may use it towards a video monitor to like look at the baby in the crib, but whatever I use it on, I will show you when it happens. The bump date. Oh, this is a big, I don't even know if I can get the bump in the frame. It's so big. This is a bowling ball of a bump. And let me tell you, I have 9 weeks-ish left, probably max, probably 10 weeks max. I'm 31 weeks right now. I really need this baby to stay in until December 1st. Then it can come anytime after that. And then I will have a few weeks off, thankfully, with the baby. So I'm pretty uncomfortable. Like my back hurts constantly. There's like 0 position that I can get into where my back doesn't hurt, except lying flat on my back, which of course I can only do for a few minutes at a time because there's a 3-pound baby sitting on my chest and I can't breathe. So I do lay flat on my back for like really short periods of time because that takes the pressure off. I'll take like a bath. Any type of being in water also takes the pressure off. Thank God. And yeah. So I'm just like uncomfortable all the time and I'm over it, and I'm tired of being pregnant, you guys. I'm really tired of it. But I also like need the baby to stay in. It's the middle of October. I need this baby to stay in for like at least 6 more weeks. So we'll see what happens. I just wish I could get some sleep. I know that I won't be able to get some sleep after the baby is born either. So maybe this is my body preparing me. There's just a lot going on right now. My best friend's baby shower is on the same day that this episode goes live, so I'll be doing that while this episode's going live. Then the following week, my baby shower with just a few close friends and family will be at my house. So next Saturday. And then the next Saturday, I will be back with you again. And then it'll be November. And then my brother's getting married. And then it's going to be Thanksgiving. And then the baby will be here. So I don't know what I'm doing. I feel a little overwhelmed by everything. But hey, that's life. And yeah. What are you going to do? Nothing. Just be happy about this baby. The baby is fine. She is healthy. And she likes to kick me a lot. And sometimes it hurts her butt. That's all I have to say about that. So I think I'm going to go because I'm very hungry. And if you like this video, this crazy ramblingness, do hit the thumbs up. That just lets me know that I'm putting out any sort of content that you like to watch. And if you would like to be kept up to date when new episodes go live on this channel, which is every 2 weeks, hit the subscribe button down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're working on. If I send you a Ravelry message because you want a prize, please respond so that you can give me your address and I can get you your prize. And until I see you again, happy crafting and happy October and happy Halloween and happy everything. Bye, friends.